Hi John, this is part 2 of the presentation, my screencast. So I'm going to go ahead and make the code demo now. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, so I'll start off with the patient DTD. Like I said before, myself and Kira sort of led this. We coordinated with everybody and got the DTD up and running and agreed. So we'll just start at the very top on this file. Start off with the declaration. So it's XML version 1.0 encoding UTF-8. So that means it's compatible and with Unicode, so English language, not an issue. Foreign languages aren't an issue for us, but that's where that's there. I will just scroll down now to our root element here. So the patient element is our root. Ruth, no pun intended, had kindly coded in 0 or more items indicating what 0 or more or what had to be 1 or more, because everybody kept forgetting at the time, so it was better to have it up front for clarity. So we have 0 or more after the name of the child element on the parent element declaration. So this is where we sat down and we agreed with everybody what was going to go in from our tables and what we would have to share and what we could have 0 or more. So for example, as every patient had to have a first name, a last name. Date of birth was optional. You could have 0 or more, so these didn't necessarily have to be included. Sex, medications, appointments, symptoms, and healthcare professionals. So if you remember back our schema, we had patient had all the elements related to patient, but then it also had medications, appointments, symptoms, and healthcare professionals. And within those fields, as you'll see further down as I scroll down, you have details, you have the elements within medications. So medication and medications, plural, is a parent to medication. So I'm just going to scroll down here. Okay, so the hashtag PC data means it's parse character data, so it means it takes in mixed content. So the element may contain character data, or in some cases, if it contains letters, it would be accepted as character data. So let's go down here. Again, these are all the patient elements. So date of birth, address, phone, email, PBS number. So as I said above, medications is the parent table, and medication then is the child here. So it can contain 0 or many. So everything within the medication table was 0 or many. And again, they're all mixed characters. The appointment, so appointments is the parent table. So may contain 0 or many of these elements. So staff, date, diagnosis, scheduled appointment, appointment method, and outcome. Now, to be honest, we weren't sharing this table, so we just agreed the rules for this one, and then Sive's group and Mairead's group sort of looked at that. That was more, they were concerned if they had something to add to that. We didn't. Symptoms again. So healthcare professionals, this did affect us. This is one of the tables we were going to share. So the healthcare professional had to have a first name. Now, he didn't have to have a last name, and that only came out because we realised our healthcare professional was called Gregory House, and because of our database table, we had entered him in as Gregory House, no distinction between first name and last name. So this actually threw up a problem, and that was how we spotted it, by going back. Another issue here was the phone number. Up until nearly the last version, we had a plus here instead of a star, so it meant that it seemed obvious that the healthcare professional would have to have a phone number, but for some reason in one of the tables it didn't. So that was an issue with when we came to validating the different data for the different files from the different groups. So we only discovered that yesterday, so that hence version 1.8. And another thing that happened as well is one of the stars got deleted between different versions being circulated. So that just purely deleted, it wasn't intentionally left out. So that again raised, when it came to validating the file, as I said before on my previous demo, XML is great, you can just fire it in and you can tab to the actual error. So that was very easily spotted, but when you were looking at it statically on the screen, it wasn't so obvious. So healthcare professionals, first name, last name, all these fields, again, mixed character data. And Mairead's team, they had that in as a qualification as their last field there. And that closes the root folder. So, okay, that's the DTD. So, next thing I need to do is to copy this. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm using Kira's computer and it's not exactly the same as my own. Some of the clicks are slightly different, so bear with me. Okay, so I'll go to our main. And actually, I just need to validate. Alright, so I'm going to go to our main and run the program. Okay. So again, I have to do this slightly differently. Go from run file. Okay. So I'm going to log into the system. I always do that, I beg your pardon, sorry. Log into the system, option 2. And the first thing I'm going to do is option 4, write all records to an XML file. So I choose 4. Okie doke. Now, so all my records are written. I'm just going to format this. Great stuff. And I need to just copy in my DTG. So in a second, I don't know if I did it, so I'm just going to check. Great stuff. My reference. Save that and check that it validates. Okay, that's validated. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go back to here. Oh, there we go. So, sorry. Now, I'm just going to go to 5 because I want to read in the XML details that we've just written to the database. So I'm going to choose option 5. Okay, I'm going to scroll up. The screen's kind of small, so you can see. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I have to give it a file path. I beg your pardon, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I'm taking James's info. And I'm going to copy that file path. Okay. Sorry. 5. Okay, and just leave. Now I'll scroll up because that happened very quickly for you. Okay, so there's Mick, LV and Elvira added, written to the database, and I have to prove that to you, so I'll just fire down here to the database. Sorry, it's just I'm not used to this computer. Okay. Here's my table, and if I go into my child table, I just want to refresh it because sometimes it doesn't go into it straight away. Here we go. So there is Mick, LV and Elvira added. They're the latest ones, 61, 62 and 63. We normally actually delete them out, so we're not when we're checking. So that's James's added, and the next thing, I'll just fly back to NetBeans one more time because I want to just show you the display all option as well. So view all guardian and child records. So let's look at all the children I've just added. Well, our patients are our child records. So LB, Mick and Elvira should be added as children. Let's scroll up again. Hang on. There we go. So Mick, LV and Elvira added to the system as 61, 62 and 63. The previous ones are there as well. There's historical data there too. But just to prove that they were added. So in terms of our program, we'll just go straight to the main. We pair programmed this. The girls worked together collectively. We used most of this as your code that we did in class, and then we suited if we just fire down to the methods. So again, the logging in, that was all from CA1. The original method logging on, Mark did that. Let me see, we added the two methods, the two extra methods with the read and write. Let me see, this is myself and Ruth, this is for CA1, and both use pair programming to complete the add new guardian method to the system and to complete the add new child. So there are those details, that again, that's all from CA1. And we did the search, I forgot we did search as well. They were very straightforward. We've moved on a bit since then. Scrolling through this. Okay, so here's our array lists to the right to the system. So we created the first thing, the output factory, so that creates the output string. The prepared statements, there was quite a bit of work again. This was to decide the naming conventions again, so the order in which we were asking the system for their fields. This again was, we had to refer back to our GTD for this and make sure we were asking for everything. We had to refer back to our tables as well. So there was a little bit of iteration, not only with the code, but even the orders. They were, we are here, whether our date of birth, our sex, our Gmail, our phone, immunisation, everything here. We just double checked the order for this. So this took a bit of time. Let's see. They're all the right methods. They're all just getters and setters. God, our if statements are so long. I think we will completely redesign this for CA3.